So we got the
A&B conference.
The A&B conference coming up. We're talking about going from the very beginning, like in your case when your teacher said, hey, you're onto something right here, you got a talent, to performing right before Ludacris in the town that you're from, that you grew up on the Live at 5 stage.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you faced throughout that process to get on these bigger stages, and how did you overcome them?
That is the question of the day. How did I overcome them? Passion and love for the craft, similar to you with golf or you with the A&B conference.
Yeah.
Conversation, mentorship. If you love something, North Carolina basketball, if you love something, that's what's going to keep you in it, right? So between those years, let me get to the specifics of the question because I've been extending my conversation long. Back to the main point of it is between those years, perseverance is basically, if it was one word, what has kept me going on. And that's been through, for instance, I've done at least 5 to 6 shows called Make Music Day in Stamford, which had crowds of 20 people, 15 people. This is me saying it's on camera. 15 people, 20 people. Some had 40 or 50. Some had 10. Some had 5.
Yeah.
This is how much I love performing. I had set up my own outside setup, Mill River Park, a couple of years ago, with me and my team, my partner George, who also was with me at Live at 5, who does my sound, a few other people, and we got it popping right here. I mean, we were going out here doing what you call Make Music Day, doing whatever Stamford had, whatever local, not only local, but just in New York. I've done big shows as well and smaller shows. I'm doing shows that I would do whatever was called to me for free a lot of times, between those years, not always now, but for free, just loving it. And also, I've been consistent. I was signed to an independent label when I was 14 called BMX Entertainment out of New York City. I was on that label for a couple years. I learned what publishing was. I understood what, getting paid in perpetuity was. I understood what putting out records was. I was big on the mixtape scene. I put out a ton of mixtapes, rhyming over other people's beats or some original music, and just being in the streets and meshing with the DJs in the culture. People like K Swift, who did the show with me.
Yeah.
I've known K Swift since I've been a teenager because I used to put out mixtapes.
Yeah.
So mixtapes were a big part of me blowing up too, or me getting a following per se. And now with the internet, all my stuff is just transferred over. You got people that know stuff that I've done from when I was 19. You got people that just caught on the stuff I did when I was just 30. So, I mean, it really was about the consistency and submitting to a Live at 5 and being able to be consistent no matter what, and kind of getting a reputation all around, but especially here. But I blew up a lot more in New York and North Carolina. North Carolina was the first place I ever did a show, at Cat's Cradle.
Oh, really?
You know where that is.
Okay.
I opened up for Outkast.
Oh, wow.
At Cat's Cradle. Young kid. I was about 18, 19. There's a group called Little Brother, Knife Wonder. I went to school with I basically was on, I worked on radio, WXU, Duke University Radio. All these things happened in between me opening, and doing a show, Live at 5 on the first independence in hip-hop period, and rap, with Ludacris from then till now. I've done a bunch of other shows prior to that, but to get that, I do think that was very monumental, and I think a lot of it has to do with people in the town recognizing me. I think a lot of individuals understanding where I'm coming from with the music, and seeing that perseverance and rewarding it with, I mean, one of the biggest honors you can have.
You tie out, so we got connected because I was outside in 2020. I was watching football when you had to do everything outside.
Yeah.
And I saw Jahan and his camera guy, they were shooting a music video.
Crazy, yeah.
And I ended up getting a short clip, and that was my
you
first
did it.
ever.
Los Olympia is the video. Yes.
Go check that video out.
Check that video out, Brandon. Chill at the right time.
And I started listening to his raps that next day, and I loved the personal development tie that you put into many of your songs. How important is it to you to surround yourself by people who make you better, people who want to be better? and people who make you feel better too.
It's very important. I think that's the quote unquote conscious rap or whatever they call it. I don't call it, I call it, it's achieving. It's like life, right? And you know what? We connect on that heavy. The A&B conference, everything you've been talking about lately, that's why this is so solid. Yeah. Because what I do in music, you're doing with the conference. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. That's why they call it quote unquote, I don't believe in categories, conscious rap or whatever. To me, it's just uplifting spirits. It's very important. It's very important to be around people that you would want to uplift and want to uplift you. That is one of the key things that's gonna really get you to progress. And in music, it's even better because I think music is built on that. It's built on that positive energy. That positive energy will take you to the moon, Jack. Let's believe it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely not all, I love all rap. I'm from the streets. But it's not all street rap. It's not all whatever. It's whatever you're going through. So me being aligned with people like yourself and people just that are uplifting no matter what they do, I do think that that's an element in my music. I think it comes through in my songs like Embrace the Rain and so many.